sparkle like other girls in the class did. Hilary saw her despondent face. "Listen, you're fine. You've got naturally curly hair, that's a plus for a start, and you're small. Fellows like that. It will get better. 16 is the worst age, no matter what they tell you." And of course, Hilary was right. It did get better. Rhea left school and, like her elder sister, took a secretarial course. There were plenty of fellows, it turned out. Nobody particularly special, but she wasn't in any rush. She would possibly travel the world before she settled down to marry. "Not too much travelling," her mother warned. Nora Johnson thought that men might regard travel as fast. Men preferred to marry safer, calmer women who didn't go gallivanting too much. Nora Johnson wanted something better than a shabby, run-down housing estate for her daughters when the time came. "When do you think the time will come?" Rhea asked Hilary. "For what?" Hilary was frowning a lot at her reflection in the mirror. The thing about applying blusher was that you had to get it just right. Too much, and you looked consumptive. Too little, and you looked dirty, and as if you hadn't washed your face. "I mean, when do you think either of us will get married? You know the way Mam's always talking about when the time comes." "Well, I hope it comes to me first. I'm the elder. You're not even to consider doing it ahead of me." "No, I have nobody in mind. It's just I'd love to be able to look into the future and see where we'll be in 2 years' time. Wouldn't it be great if we could have a peep?" "Well, go to a fortune-teller then if you're that anxious." "They don't know anything." Rhea was scornful. "It depends. If you get the right one, they do. A lot of the girls at work found this great one. It would make you shiver the way she knows things." "You've never been to her?" Rhea was astounded. "Yes, I have actually, just for fun." "What did she tell you?" "She said I would marry within 2 years. Great! Can I be the bridesmaid? And that I'd live in a place surrounded by trees, and that his name began with an M, and that we'd both have good health all our lives." "Michael, Matthew, Morris, Marcello." Rhea rolled them all around to try them out. "How many children?" "She said no children," Hilary said. "And where did she see all this good health and the fellow called M and no children? In tea leaves?" "No, on my hand." "Ah, Hilary, please, good money for that kind of rubbish. Where does she live? In a penthouse?" "No, a caravan, as it happens, on a caravan halting site. She doesn't care about money. It's not a racket or a job, it's a gift." "Yeah. So it looks like I can do what I like without getting pregnant." Hilary sounded very confident. "It might be dangerous to throw out the pill," said Rhea. "I wouldn't rely totally on Madame Fifi or whatever she's called." "Mrs. Connor. Wait until you need to know something. You'll be along to her like a flash." It was very hard to know what a job was going to be like until you were in it, and then it was too late. Hilary had office jobs in a bakery, a laundry, and then settled in a school. There wasn't much chance of meeting a husband there, she said, but the pay was a bit better, and she got her lunch free, which meant she could save a bit more. She was determined to have something to put toward a house when the time came. Rhea was saving too, but to travel the world. She worked first in the office of a hardware shop, then in a company that made hairdressing supplies, and then settled in a big, busy real estate agency. Rhea was on the reception desk and answered the phone. It was a world she knew nothing of when she went in, but it was obviously a business with a huge buzz. On the first day, she met Rosemary. Slim, blonde, and gorgeous, but as friendly as any of the girls she had ever met at school or secretarial college. Rosemary also lived at home with her mother and sister, so there was an immediate bond. Rosemary was so confident and well up in everything that was happening, Rhea assumed that she must be a graduate or someone with huge knowledge of the whole property market. But no, Rosemary had only worked there for 6 months. It was her second job. "There's no point in working anywhere unless we know what it's all about," Rosemary said. "It makes it twice as interesting if you know all that's going on." It also made Rosemary twice as interesting to all the fellows who worked there. They found it very difficult to get to first base with her. In fact, Rhea had heard that there was a sweepstake being run secretly on who would be the first to score. Rosemary had heard this too. She and Rhea laughed over it. "It's only a game," Rosemary said. "They don't really want me at all." Rhea was not sure that she was right. Almost any man in the office would have been proud to escort Rosemary Ryan, but she was adamant. A career first, fellows later. Rhea listened with interest. It was such a different message than the one she got at home, where her mother and Hilary seemed to put a much greater emphasis on the marriage side of things. Rhea's mother said that 1982 was a terrible year for film stars dying. Ingrid Bergman died, and Romy Schneider and Henry Fonda. Then there was the terrible accident when Princess Grace was killed. All the people you really wanted to see, they were dying off like flies. It was also the year that Hilary Johnson got engaged to Martin Moran, a teacher at the school where she worked in the office. Martin was pale and anxious, and originally from the west of Ireland. He always said his father was a small farmer, not just a farmer, but a small one. Since Martin was 6'1", it was hard to imagine this. He was courteous and obviously very fond of Hilary, yet there was something about him that lacked enthusiasm and fire. He looked slightly worried about things and always spoke pessimistically. Rhea looked with wonder at the man her sister was going to marry. Hilary, who had once been able to throw away a week's salary on a fortune-teller, was now talking about the cost of having shoes repaired and the folly of making a telephone call outside the cheap times. Eventually a house was selected and a deposit was paid. It was a very small house, and yet it seemed exactly what her elder sister wanted out of life. Never had she seen her so happy. Hilary was excited about the wedding day, which would be on the day before her 24th birthday. For Hilary, the time had come. She celebrated it with manic frugality. She and Martin vied with each other to save money on the whole project. Rhea wore a bright scarlet-coloured coat to the wedding, and a red velvet hairband and bow in her black curly hair. She must have been one of the most colourful bridesmaids at the drabbest wedding in Europe, she thought. Next day, she decided to wear her scarlet bridesmaid's coat to the office. Rosemary was amazed. "Hey, you look terrific! I've never seen you dressed up before, Rhea. What a pity we have nowhere to go to lunch and show you off. We mustn't waste this." "Come on, Rosemary, it's only clothes." Rhea was embarrassed. She felt now that she must have been dressed like a tramp before. Rosemary stood in her immaculate lilac-coloured knitted suit, her makeup perfect and amazed admiration written all over her. Rhea said, "Well, you've really put it up to me. Now I'll have to get a whole new wardrobe." She twirled around before taking off her new scarlet coat and caught the eye of the new man in the office. She had heard there was a Mr. Lynch coming from the Cork branch. He had obviously arrived. He wasn't tall, about her own height. He was handsome, and he had blue eyes and straight fair hair that fell into them. He had a smile that lit up the room. "Hello, I'm Danny Lynch," he said. "Aren't you just gorgeous?" Rhea felt a very odd sensation in her throat, as if she had been running up a hill and couldn't catch her breath. Rosemary spoke, which was just as well, because Rhea would not have been able to answer at all. "Well, hello there, Danny Lynch," she said with a bit of a smile, "and you are very welcome to our office. You know, we were told that there was a Mr. Lynch arriving, but why did we think it was going to be some old guy?" Rhea felt a pang of jealousy, as she had never before felt about her friend. Why did Rosemary always know exactly what to say, how to be funny and flattering and warm at the same time? "I'm Rosemary, this is Rhea, and we are the workforce that keeps this place going, so you have to be very nice to us." "Oh, I will," Danny promised. And Rhea knew he would probably join the sweepstake as to who would score first with Rosemary. Probably would win as well. Oddly, he seemed to be talking to Rhea when he spoke, but maybe she was just imagining it. Rosemary went on. "We were just looking for somewhere to go out and celebrate Rhea's new coat." "Great.